Today I am here live with Sandy Johnson, and you all know her, of course, as Judith Myers, the first victim of Michael Myers in John Carpenter's Halloween. Sandy, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too. How has 2020? How did 2024 treat you the last couple months?
Well, it was pretty good. I've been really busy
Of
and
course.
making new films and just
Hmm.
trying to get settled into a new house. So it's been crazy but good.
Oh, did you just move?
We did. Yeah, we built a house closer to town and
Oh,
we're moved in and we love it.
congratulations. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. I don't know if you can see, but I got my banner that Amy got me up here,
Oh, I see that.
and I got my Halloween poster that you signed right there. I have that right there. It's a gem. I love it. Thank you so much for that.
Well,
Yeah,
she's a good friend.
I know she's the best. Amy, if you're watching, I love you. Thank you for everything that you do for me, and I can't wait to see you soon. I'm actually going to see her next Saturday at the Horror Slideshow Market. It's for the New Jersey HorrorCon that took place in Atlantic City. It's Ryan Weber's show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her. They have Tony there. I was hoping that they would invite you. Hopefully, sometime this year. They are announcing Atlantic City people still, so hopefully you get an invitation. I'm praying that it happens.
Well, somebody needs to tell him I'd like to come.
I tell him all the time.
You
I think the
do?
way it works is that he's got like probably his guests lined up, and he has to wait for responses before he can look for other people. Probably
Right.
that's my
Cool.
guess
Well,
anyway.
Tell Amy I love her too.
Oh, she's gonna watch this. She's at work right now, so unfortunately she can't be with us today. But she wanted me to send you her love, and she will definitely. I'm sure she will connect and comment and see this, and I'm sure hopefully it will make her very happy. Amy, we love you. But yeah, so you know what? You did go to a couple cons the last couple months. I saw you went to Richmond, Virginia for Frightmare Weekend.
I did. I went all over the place. Richmond and Seattle and Sacramento and Florida. I was all over the place.
Oh my God.
Oklahoma.
Oh, Oklahoma too. I have three down here. You went to yeah, the Richmond, Virginia. You went to the Sacramento Sinister Horror Con. Is that out in California? That's
Yes.
California. Okay.
Mhm.
And let's see. How was the 45 years of TerrorCon in Pasadena?
Amazing. Always amazing, but that was, yeah, that was my anniversary, I think, of 5 years.
Of going to shows.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's great. That's right, because the 40th was your very first con, right?
Right.
Oh my God, those cons look like so much fun. I wish I can go all the way out there. I probably will someday, but it's just, with the fact that they happen like every 5 years, it's just like it's really tricky to plan that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it'll drift away from your mind and you have no idea. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes. So hopefully you come back to Jersey soon, though. Anyway,
It's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's been a while. It's time for East Coast again.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, I don't know what's going on. Unfortunately, I know that we had just unfortunately lost one of the nurses that was in the additional scenes for the original Halloween. It wasn't in the theatrical version, but her scene. It was the scene where Donald goes to check out Michael's room. Have you seen that scene?
I guess not.
Yeah, it's really great. If you have the 35th anniversary Blu-ray of Halloween, it's actually on the deleted scenes, and I think the 4K version
Oh,
and I think the 4K version of the movie has it too.
oh, I have to check that out. I have it. I guess I haven't looked at those.
Yeah, no, it's really great. And I have to ask, did you by any chance get to see Halloween at a local theater near you last October?
It wasn't around here. I looked.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's a shame. I mean, it's okay. You got to experience it the best way possible. Yeah, you know, the
Yeah, I was there.
yeah, you were there, duh. That's great, that's great. So, how about we start out with you telling us, what it was like for you, first, obviously, you were working as a Playboy model,
Mhm.
and, then, I understand that, you were contacted through the agency to go do movie interviews, what movie was first for you?
I believe the very first one was probably Jokes My Folks Never Told Me,
Which
and then
I actually did see that recently.
oh, good.
It was funny, I actually really liked
It's
that's,
funny.
that
Yeah, at the time, it was so cutting edge, and naughty.
yes, it was.
And now, of course, it's no big deal, but at the time, it was definitely the jokes your folks didn't tell you. But,
Absolutely.
yeah, so and the Woolery brothers, the ones that did it, were a lot of fun, they were great.
That's good,
And
that's
they also hired me because I had a Southern accent, which just made me so happy because everybody always made fun of my accent when I was in California, and so it was so exciting to actually be hired for what everybody else made fun of.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. I know what that feels like. I mean, like all my a lot of being really tall as I am, unfortunately, like, I'm always self-conscious because I did theater back in school and I'm like towering over everybody that I'm with. And a lot of the girls that I actually danced with back when I did theater, they were very shorter than me. And I also had bigger feet than everybody else. So when we were all dancing together as a group, I'm like stepping on everybody and I just felt like Bigfoot. Yeah, it was
Funny.
funny though. It was funny. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna read you this little comment right here. This is actually, her name is Monica, and what's funny about her is, I actually saw Halloween last October with her, and she was my babysitter when I was young.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, she was my Laurie Strode, and I was her Tommy Doyle. I would say that she was my Judith and I was her Michael, but I promise I never tried to kill her.
Well, hi, Monica.
Yes, she messaged, "Hi Sandy, you are iconic. So glad Joe has the privilege to talk to you. Halloween is my favorite horror franchise."
Alright. Well, thanks for being a fan, I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, she's awesome. Hopefully, you'll get a chance to meet her if you ever come back to Cherry Hill for Monster Mania.
Surely I will.
Yeah, yeah, she'll be with me for sure. Um, let's see. So you just had recently shot a film I saw. It's called the Massage Parlor Massacre.
I did. I've actually shot 3 films in the last 4 or 5 months, I think, and, another one in Florida right before that, so I've been busy memorizing all this stuff, but, yeah, the massacre one I did, on a green screen in a hotel in Las Vegas where I am a newscaster.
Oh, yeah.
So that was fun, and Felissa Rose is also in that film, which is cool.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'll be seeing Felissa next Saturday too.
Cool,
So that
tell her hi
we
for me.
oh, I will. I will. I'm sure I know we all wish that you were there. Hopefully soon it will happen. I'm gonna keep requesting until it happens. You know me.
Okay.
Yes, but I got a little ahead though, but I do want to talk a little bit about like how you got so Jokes My Folks Never Told Me was your first.
Mhm.
And was your second was that what was your second film?
Well, I think I really should write all these down because I get asked that all the time and I can't remember. I just need a list on my wall. I think it was Gas
Use
Pump
the banner.
Girls. Yes.
Gas pump gas pump
I don't know
girl.
if they're in order though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Obviously most popular at the top, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I think it was Gas Pump Girls and maybe then Halloween and Haunts. Uh,
right. Yeah,
they were
that's
all,
interesting.
like, close together.
Right. That's interesting because you know what? It's funny when the movie actually has the year, it's obviously the year it was released. It's not the year that it was actually shot, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Was Halloween the last film that you did before you decided to become a teacher?
I think maybe it was Hot.
Hots?
Yeah.
I still have to see Hots. You can only get that on DVD on eBay. I did look for it. I have to go. I have to get it soon. I can't believe I didn't buy it yet, but I will check it out definitely. You play a mean girl in that, huh?
I do. I'm a
Uh,
mean sorority girl. I'm not nice.
oh, I can't wait to watch that because I mean you're always so sweet, and I'm just like, oh my god, I want to watch her as a mean girl. That'll be fun. um, but okay, so obviously, talk. Can you tell us about your first meeting with? Did you meet John first, or did you meet Deborah Hill first?
Mm. Well, I think I met them both at the same time, actually, because they were both there and they were together almost the whole time because they were, directing as a team. So I believe they were both there and I met them pretty much together. And both of them were amazing.
Yeah, I know. I hear wonderful, nothing but wonderful things about Deborah Hill as a producer. Yeah, very sad
Yeah,
that
she
she's not.
was awesome.
Yeah, very sad that she never got to be able to experience cons or any of that stuff. I would have absolutely loved to have met her, but she's a legend that can never be forgotten.
Yeah, that's a loss for all of us.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember what house? I know you went to a house for your meeting with John and Deborah, right?
Hmm.
Do you remember what
Yeah,
house it was?
I believe it was the house where Annie.
Oh, oh, are you there, Sandy?
Yeah, my phone was ringing. I tried to put it on do not disturb, but I was afraid I'd lose you before. Um, yeah, it was the house where Annie was killed, and we were in the front of that house, and they were actually filming in the back. I don't know what scene because I was up front being interviewed, but they were actively filming Halloween when I was being interviewed.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Was there like was it do you remember like what who was there on the set filming that the scene? Like was it a scene that involved Jamie or Nancy or
I don't because they were in a different part of the house. I just knew that they were filming. I could hear people screaming.
oh, really?
Who was
Someone
screaming? I don't know.
okay, so obviously Michael was working. So we know that.
Right.
Obviously he must have been. Um so did what do you what was it like getting the phone call that you had gotten the part?
Oh, it was super exciting. I had always done comedy, so it was really fun to get something that wasn't a comedy and just, try out something different. It's always exciting to get cast in a role. So, yeah, it was awesome.
That's great. And have you always been a fan of horror movies in some type of way, like thrillers or any of those films?
Yes, my dad was a horror fan, so he started me out quite young, going to drive-in movies to see spookers and different things. So, yeah, and then as I got older, I'd get with my girlfriends and we go to the movies or watch them on TV. And so I've always enjoyed them, especially psychological thrillers.
Right, right. Yeah, you're lucky that you got to see like so many of the classic films. Like, see, I consider myself an old soul, old school, and I really love any chance I get to go to the Mahoning Drive-In Theater to go watch these movies on 35 millimeter, and it just feels so special and nostalgia. I actually had recently taken my mom there because she loves Friday the 13th, the
Hmm.
first two, and I knew that she would absolutely love it. And they actually had Adrian King, who was the main star of the first one, and Amy
Right.
Steele. Have you met them before?
I have, yes, I have, yes.
Yeah, they're both amazing, aren't they? Um,
Hmm.
yeah, Adrian's so
What
fun.
was funny is I went to the Mahoning during COVID, and I actually got to go into the projection room and watch my scene through the portal hole thing in the projection room. It was so
Really?
cool. It was
That is
so
really
cool. Yes.
that is really cool. Oh my god,
Yeah, it was.
I am so bummed that I actually didn't know about the Mahoning Drive-In Theater when you were there. I actually had found out about it when they were when friends of mine who actually cosplay as Adam West as Batman and Yvonne Craig's Batgirl,
Uh-huh.
they were showing Adam West's Batman movie, and they were going to have the Batmobile there, and I'm like, oh my god, I got to go see that. That looks so cool. And so I took the trip up there. Wore my Batman costume, and I was taking pictures all over the place. And I met a couple people up there, made some friends, and it really is a really nice environment. I really love it up there.
It is. The people are so nice, and it was just fun. I had a great time. I hope they'll have me back sometime.
Oh, I'm gonna be requesting you. I, uh, I did actually put in a request for Tony Moran and Nancy Ann Ritter. Um, so hopefully they'll be up there. We can get like some sort of a Halloween reunion up there. That would be amazing.
It would. Yeah, that's amazing what they do. I love them.
Oh yeah, I know. I hopefully soon. Hopefully this October. So you know that's the tricky part though is when it comes to all you Halloween actors, we got to tie you into October only mainly.
Yeah, and that I wish they wouldn't do that because I get like 6 weeks away from home. I wish they would space them out a little bit.
I know. I know. It's like we got Christmas in July. Why not have Halloween in no? Why not have Halloween in June? You know what I mean? Like let's create another day for Halloween. I totally wish they would do that.
Yeah, to spread it out a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, when you had arrived on the set of Halloween for your first day of shooting, um, was it in the evening or was it in the after the daytime? Did you have to get? Were you there all day to
I was
prepare
there
for your?
all day. Yeah, it was in the morning.
It was in the morning. Okay. And
Mhm.
when did you meet your boyfriend, David Kyle?
I think he arrived pretty much at the same time, and we visited, while they were getting everything ready, and we practiced a lot with Deborah and John, and so yeah, that's the day I met him.
Yeah, did you come up with a backstory for your characters? How long you guys have been dating? How long did you guys go to prom?
Uh, no, I don't think we did that. It was a brief encounter, just as it was in the movie.
Are we talking about what the brief encounter downstairs, the brief encounter upstairs?
They were both pretty brief.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Uh, but no, it's funny, and I know you actually did get to see David. Was it the first time since you shot Halloween at the 40 years of convention?
It was, and I believe it was the only convention he's ever done. He told me that the reason why he did it was because he wanted to see me again. So we
Oh,
were sitting next to each other at our tables, and it was great to visit with him. And I was glad he did that. It was nice to see him.
oh, that's great. That's really nice. That's really nice. How come he doesn't do shows? I would love to get him on my poster.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a troubled life. I think he just didn't like being in the spotlight, and he wasn't
Uh,
always in great health, so I think it was just
mhm.
personal reasons.
Oh, okay. I understand. Okay. So obviously, the way that they shot your scene would have been one take only, right? Well, obviously you did multiple takes, but you had to get everything all in one shot, obviously. Um, how was um, how was the process of how your scene was shot, and like, did anything funny happen? Like any bloopers that we didn't get to see? Because I know there is a funny moment when PJ is on the couch with John Graham, and she accidentally trips over the track to the camera. Uh, but unfortunately, yeah, we never got any of those bloopers. A blooper reel for Halloween. Is there any fun mistakes ever happen while you were shooting?
I can't think of anything. I know they had some issues at the house. The Myers house was very small, and they were trying to keep, microphones and people and stuff out of view which was difficult because it was such a tiny house. So
Mhm.
occasionally that was an issue when, especially when we were practicing with the camera, that it just, something would be in the picture that they didn't want there. So we would, go again. So it was mostly uh, trying to keep everything out of view that you didn't want to be seen.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, I always thought like, oh my god, that must have been so rough. Like, I wish that like I wish that what's interesting, they actually did release. I think you posted it actually. This was probably a couple years ago. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't remember, but they actually did release the raw footage of your scene when they were shooting it without the eye holes, and that was very fun and interesting to see. And because now, like, because unfortunately, the eye holes, everything that you see there is very limited. Luckily, we can see everything we need to see. But now that everything was more open, it was like, oh my god, this is like it gives you a whole new perspective of that scene. And I wish they would put that on like the bonus features of Halloween. Do you know where that came from?
The one that shows the entire scene without the mask, the first time I saw that was when I was in Florida last year, early last year, to film The Executioner. And the guy that owns um, a lot of the footage from the original Halloween, he's not allowed to do anything with it, but he owns it. So he actually put it up on a video for me and the other people that were there at the signing so we could see it. And I was astounded. I had never ever seen the full shot. And so it was incredible. It really was. It was very cool to see that. He
Oh,
also gave me the picture that I just posted about a couple days ago, which was the high resolution of David and I on the couch. The one that I had has always been real blurry, the one I'd had on my table and stuff, but he sent me that high res image. So now I have a really good photograph of David and I on the couch. So he was super nice. He brought that film especially to show me and also gave me the digital file on the couch scene.
oh, really? Oh, that's really amazing. I think I actually heard about this. I think the didn't he win an auction, and a lot of the film and all the footage was actually in a storage unit, and
Yes, I
they
think
weren't
that's right.
and they weren't supposed to be apparently. Uh,
Right. So he owns it, but he can't do anything with it.
oh yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, I did hear about that. I heard there was also some funny footage of Nick Castle when he was lying on the grass after Donald Pleasance had shot him, and they actually had a take of him dancing out of frame. Did, did you get to see
That's
that one?
funny.
Did
Yeah,
you?
I'd like to see the rest of the footage, maybe someday. Maybe if I go back again, he'll bring some more.
That's really cool. Like, does he have like a projector, like an old school projector to project all the film on, or did he get it transferred to digital?
He had it on digital. He just put it up on the TV.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's hard to find now. I got to try to find that again. Yeah, hopefully soon. So okay, so you obviously you met David when you showed up, and then you had how many takes did your scene take?
I asked someone who would
Take
know this last year, and they said two.
two. Yeah,
Mhm.
takes. I meant takes. Did I say
Yeah,
scenes? Takes. I'm
yes,
sorry.
two
Um,
takes.
two takes. Got it.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's really good. So obviously it was a really quick shoot then, obviously. And how was it were when you went upstairs? Obviously, like what was the obviously your clothes were upstairs and they were all over the floor. We saw. Like, how did that work exactly? Was Deborah up there and like guiding you to like how like to throw your clothes down or something? So it looks like you guys were fooling around in the hallways a little bit.
Oh, they were both up there telling me, how the staging was going to go, which way they wanted me to face with the lines and at what point I was going to get stabbed and how they wanted me to fall. So they worked with me quite a bit upstairs to make sure it all went off safely, and then We actually rehearsed quite a bit during the day. It was only 2 takes, but we did a lot of practicing because, like I said, it was difficult to get all that stuff in without they're looking through the window and then coming around the kitchen. There was a lot of opportunities for stuff to be in the camera that didn't need to be. So getting all that, everybody practiced enough that they were out of the way or under the camera or whatever was it took a good part of the day. But the actual filming, by then we pretty much had it together.
That's good. And the clothes that you actually were wearing, did they belong to? Were they Nancy Stevens' clothes? Did,
Um, Nancy Loomis is Stevens another name? Loomis?
she played Nurse Marion Chambers in the scene with. Okay, so it was Nancy
No,
Loomis.
no, they weren't hers. They were Annie's, Nancy Loomis's
Nancy
clothes.
Loomis.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she told me that recently. I didn't even know that. I was just talking to the cast one day, and I said, they always say that the clothes were the actors' clothes, and I didn't remember having a pink sweater and a black skirt. It wasn't my kind of clothes. And Nancy says, "Well, that's because they weren't your clothes; they were my clothes." So I actually learned something that day.
Yeah, it actually looked like the idea of a school uniform. Your clothes, actually.
Hmm.
That's what I would have. That's what I would have compared it to. But so yeah, Nancy Stevens. Did you ever get to meet her? She was Nurse Marion Chambers in the scene where Michael escapes. Did you ever get to meet
I
her?
did. Yeah, I think it was I'm pretty sure I met her in Houston. They had 7 of us there, which was one of the largest collections of cast I think I've been at, and that was for the 45th, I think, 45 years, but it was in Houston, and I'm pretty sure she was there.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because her husband's the director of Halloween too, and I was very lucky to meet Nancy when she came to Cherry Hill around the time 2018 Halloween 2018 was coming out. But yeah, Rick. I mean, I can imagine he's probably very busy. I don't know if if he still works or if he's retired at this point. But yeah, I know he did Halloween 2, Halloween Resurrection, and I always loved the way he made Halloween films because I felt like he just really knew how to capture the suspense. He made it like really dark and like kept you like there were times where like just like your scene in Halloween, like the first few times I watched it, I'm not gonna lie, I muted the TV. I was like the sound's too scary. I'm not so I cheated my way through Halloween a little bit when I first started, but then I got so hooked into it that I was like, okay, I could probably take this now. And I was like,
That's funny.
yeah, I'm like, okay, nope, still scary.
It is still scary. It's like Hitchcock. He just Carpenter just knows how to make you scared. He doesn't need any blood. He doesn't really need anything. He just knows how to create the perfect atmosphere.
Yeah, he's very good at what he does. I mean, I got to meet John 2 times actually. Um, the second time I met him, I feel like I kind of asked a little bit of a dumb question because the answer to my question is actually perfectly in the movie. But I asked him about Christine. And what I asked him was like, obviously, when the car is driving and is going after somebody, are we meant to believe that the owner of the car was behind the wheel the whole time when we see him come out of the windshield at the end, and does that show that Christine was like never alive? And he was just like, sure, yeah. He just like get to the point. No, no, but yeah, but he's a nice guy. I got a nice picture actually with him with Christine, and yeah, I cherish that photo. It's a great picture.
Cool. I'm still hoping to see Christine.
Yeah. Oh, have you not seen the movie yet?
No, no, I've seen the movie, but the car. I want to see the
Oh,
car.
oh, the car. Yeah, you know what's funny? The Mahoning Drive-In actually did have the car there when they showed Christine, and I'm just like, just it's a horror movie you're screening, you're showing. Just bring out some horror actresses. Like it doesn't have to be for Christine. Just anyone who wants to come, just bring them all out. That would be really fun.
Right.
I would love that. I wish they would do that. But going back to you shooting Halloween. So when you and David did go up the stairs, did you go immediately to the room and just undress and just start brushing your hair?
Well,
Come on.
well, let me think about that. Yes, they were coming up the stairs slowly enough so that I would have time to do that. And I was just kind of off to the side and then just kind of ran in and sat down before they turned the corner.
Right, you probably were given like a little bit of a time limit. Okay, you got to get this right within like 20 seconds because we're coming up those stairs.
Right. Well, we had practiced it a lot.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I still got my hairbrush. That and
All right.
another present from Amy. My God, she's amazing. But we okay. So obviously now you're in your chair and you're brushing your hair. Um, when they actually do get to the room, what was the sign that you had to the signal that you had to turn around at that point? Was there a moment where you can kind of see them in the mirror?
I could hear them coming. It was an old house. It was very squeaky. So I could actually hear them on the stairs all the way up. It was very creepy because I could hear all of the steps. And so I could tell exactly when they entered the room.
Oh, that's that's funny. Yeah, I trust me. I know. I'm someone who actually is not a fan of the sound of creakiness in the house. I'm like, oh God, someone's here. Yeah, I used
And
to.
there really was somebody there.
Yeah, I know. I used to explore so many houses. Actually, we have a house that's close by that actually is not abandoned, but it kind of does look abandoned from like the side of the house, and we always thought it was. And what's funny is when I was a kid, my dad used to just tell me, "Yeah, Joe, that's where Casper lives." So it's like it is a haunted house. Casper lives in there.
That's funny.
Yeah,
But it
yeah,
was a friendly ghost.
yeah, friendly ghost. Didn't want to scare me too much, but yeah, so obviously so when you filmed your scene and Deborah finally is coming at you with the knife, um what did you have for the blood? Like how did the blood work? Like what were you holding something in your hand?
I had pellets and they were also like doing a paintbrush at me. So I had pellets that I stabbed myself with, and then they were doing a splatter.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't even know if they even really do that no more. I don't know if they like shoot with like a prosthetic body and they actually show the blood now at that point. But what was great about John's film is that, he didn't, I always felt the same way too. We don't need to see the blood coming out. Like we get it. We know what's happening. I get the point. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what was always really great about like your scene, and your scene is my favorite opening scene in horror movie history of all time. And I am also a big Scream fan, but there was something just about your scene that was just uh it was really hard for me to watch the first couple while because it was so creepy, so suspenseful, and just so the pacing was just so right on point. You know, unfortunately, David Kyle's character, you know, being upstairs and everything didn't make him look too good, but
Maybe
so
that's why he doesn't do cons.
maybe, maybe.
I'm sorry, David, if you're listening. I didn't mean that.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. I'm just trying to have fun. I'm sure you're a good guy. I'm sure. Um, um, so when you finished filming, is that when you met Will Sandon for the first time?
Yes.
Yeah, was it after you had already shot your stuff and you were ready to pretty much leave for the night?
I think it was. Yeah, I was thinking it was earlier, but I don't know. They might have, as it started to get dark, I think they might have done him first because he was little.
Yeah,
So I think,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
I think maybe earlier, but the same day it was dark, but I think we might have done him because of the lateness.
Yeah, what's interesting is that I actually did wonder, did John by any chance, because I know that they did this on Jaws actually for the opening scene of Jaws. Um, the opening girl in that movie, she actually it was during the daytime when they filmed that, but they used like this really special lens that actually made it look like it was dark. because obviously you wouldn't go swimming in the ocean during the nighttime. That's pretty stupid. Um, which that pretty much that whole
I don't know,
entire
we
scene.
used to do it all the time
Oh,
when I
really?
lived at the beach as a kid. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I never would do it. Oh my god, that would be too creepy for. Well, yeah. Was that before or after Jaws came out?
It was definitely before.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay, that's why nobody does it no more, I'm sure. But
I think you're right.
when what was did John by any chance do you know if he shot anything during the daytime that he made it look like it was a nighttime scene or
I don't think so that day. I'm not sure, of course, of the other filmings, but I don't think it was anything during the day.
yeah, you think it was all pretty much done at night mostly?
I think so.
Yeah, I would believe so too. But so when you finished shooting, I know that there was an issue getting the blood off you. Obviously, can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was the first time, like I said, we did 2 takes, and the first time, whoever it was, I don't know, somebody was helping and they were very rough trying to
Mhm.
get it off. And, Jamie Lee was there and she offered to help. So she actually got the rest of it off and also the second time. So that was nice.
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, she must have really had a fun time on that set because I believe did she had she wrapped at that point? Do you know?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not sure, maybe. Um, we were near the very end, so she could have been finished.
Yeah, did it work like up to a point where like you'd be on one set during the week or like would it be like on did you like choose like what setting you'd be on and film the whole entire movie on that set for like the whole week? Like if you were on the set of the Myers house, like did John shoot it like, okay, so this week we're gonna shoot Judith's scene, we're gonna shoot the scene where Lori drops off the key, we're gonna shoot the scene where Dr. Loomis is outside and he scares the kids away. Like is that how John probably shot it?
Well, I know that the house itself was in very bad condition,
Mhm.
so they shot everything where the house was in bad condition, which is later in the movie, obviously. But, for my scene, they actually had to fix up the house. So they shot everything that was dilapidated and supposedly in the future when Michael comes back, they did all of that first. And then for my scene, they went in and fixed it up so it looked like a house that somebody was actually living in. So my scene was the last one shot in the house.
Yeah, they did a really good job too of making that house look really like it was brand new. Like, did they paint it, or was it like just did they just put some new furniture in there and that was pretty much it? Or
No, they actually fixed it up, like, painted and just yeah. Yeah, they fixed it up so that it would look nice.
they did a really good job. It was very convincing. Like you would I really would think that that house was probably, your scene was probably shot in the beginning and then later on they pretty much just destroyed it. I would assume that would have been easier.
Yeah, but it was already destroyed.
Yeah, and we're very lucky that the house was actually saved when when they were tearing it down. Um, I don't really know much of the story behind it, but I guess they were building condos there, and they were tearing down the houses. And the reason why they saved it actually has nothing to do with Halloween, from what I understand. But it was just a funny coincidence.
Huh.
Yeah, did you ever get to go visit the house in Pasadena while you were there for the 45 years of terror convention or the 40?
No, I'm always so busy when I'm there, it's hard to get away from the event, actually. So, no, that hasn't happened yet, but one of these days when I go back for, just to see friends or something, I'll get them to take me.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be a great time, and I don't even know if they'll allow you to go inside, but that would be. I mean, if you tell them who you are, they'll probably let you in. But I would just love to be able to go up and just explore like the upstairs of where were they, where did they go, where did you guys go, where was the whole scene taking place. But that's really cool.
Right.
I would love
I
that.
think that is on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up sometime. Absolutely. So, by the time that you had finished filming, how was it when you got the ticket for the premiere of the film? Is that the first time you had met PJ and Nancy and all them?
Yeah, it was the first time, not only for me to meet everyone, but also for me to know the full story of the movie. I was never given the whole script, just my part. So I didn't know about what that Michael becomes a serial killer. I really didn't know the rest of the story. So the movie scared the hell out of me.
Uh,
It was a
oh,
total surprise for me.
trust me, I know about that. Absolutely. Yeah. Did you know what's really funny that people actually did make a debate about was Judith always intended to be Michael's sister? Because it's funny in the original film they actually don't call him Michael Myers. They just refer to him as Michael, or or he or him, or if Donald Pleasance he would say it or something. But like he wasn't actually referred to as Michael Myers in the original film. And
Right?
I think you were the only one that actually said his name in the film. Is that true?
Yeah, I was the only one that knew him.
Right. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah. I just think I was just like thinking like I don't think it was until the additional scenes were released, because there's a really great scene where Donald is talking to the two doctors that are at the Smiths Grove Sanitarium where he was being kept, and yeah, that's really interesting because I know that I believe that the additional scenes for the movie that were used to show on television, Will was actually contacted a year later, I believe, to film all those scenes. So they brought him back, and yeah, I remember I actually did ask him when I saw him, was that filmed by John or was that Rick Rosenthal? Because I know that they were shooting Halloween 2 at that point. And he says, I'm pretty sure it was John since it was his movie. And I was like, oh,
Right.
that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, so obviously, after Halloween, was that it? You decided to leave Hollywood.
Um, no, I think actually maybe Hots was last. I don't think Halloween was last, but I didn't actually decide to leave Hollywood per se. I lost my father, and shortly after that, I lost my mother. So I was just really sad, just a sad person. And I just decided to go back to Texas and just be closer to the rest of my family. And it wasn't really the place for making movies. It's just a
Right.
small town in Texas. So that's when I decided to go ahead and go to school and get a teaching degree.
Oh, that's great. That's really great. Yeah. Yeah, I heard the story actually. I've heard you tell the story before about what you did for your father, and when he what he was going through at that time. And I really want to tell you, I have so much admiration for you, for everything that you did to take care of him. I think that was absolutely beautiful. And and I'll tell you, I know this for a fact. For all of us that have met you, meeting you and discovering how beautiful and soulful you are is just goes. It says a lot about them. They must have been really amazing people.
Well, thank you. They were. I miss them both tremendously. And of course, my dad was the one that gave me the horror movie gene, so
Yeah.
I love him for that too.
Yeah, do you remember what the first horror movie that you saw with your dad was by any chance?
I sure do. It was in Oklahoma at a drive-in, and it was The Blob. It was raining and hailing and thundering and lightning, and I never took my eyes off that little box, that sound box that goes in the window, because there was plenty of room for the blob to get through.
Yeah, oh my god. Wow, it's so funny that you say that, because it's really cool is that when Halloween 2018 was coming out, they actually did put the original Halloween back in theaters, and that was the first time I saw it, and the only theater that was showing it was actually the theater where they had filmed The Blob, where they show all the people running out. So I was actually at that theater, and they had a poster of it in the lobby.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, have you ever been to that theater before?
I haven't.
That would be a great location for, signings and stuff like that, I think. I think they should totally do that if they ever, because they always show all these classic films on 35 millimeter, and, it's just I just feel like, we lost something within the whole filming process of movies, and like I just feel like filming on film really made the movies like the pacing was better. It's not like you just jump right to it. And I just really wish that, I really miss the 90s. Like the movies that came out during the 90s I thought were great. Comedies, horror. That's when Scream obviously came out. Yeah. But I just really miss the way films used to be made.
Yep,
But
I hear you.
yeah. So okay, obviously, after you when you had became a teacher, what was the what were the students that you taught? What grade was it that you taught?
I taught different grades. I started out with kindergarten, and then I went to middle school. I also taught high school for a while. Middle school was my favorite. So, yeah, I taught middle school for about 10 years and loved it.
Oh, that's great.
And, my students never knew, anything about me.
I know. I always am blown away by that when you mentioned that. I'm like, you got to. Well, now I would imagine because everyone knows Halloween. Everybody loves this movie, and I'm like, they're probably watching the movie now and seeing like how you're like seeing you out there and everything, and they're like, oh my god, all this time. Oh my god, I have her autograph on so many of my tests and stuff. I gotta find those.
Right.
That's funny. That's funny.
Mhm.
Uh, I love that though. I just think it's amazing how like it was never, during the 40 years between 78 and 2018, you have not been Halloween was never acknowledged to you once by anybody.
Never.
Um
Mm-mm. And I never thought about it. I was so busy teaching school and just, I had a hard job as a teacher. I taught students with learning differences, and I taught them hands-on science, which was a lot of work. And so I was just, I mean, that's what I did. I was so busy with that, trying to create the best possible learning environment for them, that I didn't think about anything else.
no, it's totally understandable, totally understandable. But like, I'm still in shock because obviously Halloween is shown on TV all October long. And do you? This is a ridiculous question, but have you ever put Halloween on like during the time when you didn't know that you were being searched for? Everybody was looking for you for the longest time, and I just think it's so funny with all that going on in the con world that you're just simply at home. It's October, so you're like, oh, Halloween's on. How about that?
No, I never watched it. I never thought about it or any of my other movies, actually. It was kind of a deja vu when my agent found me and brought me back in, and then I kinda started thinking about, uh, how I had just stepped out of a career, which I really loved, which was acting, and
Mhm.
I kinda have an opportunity to pick up where I left off. So, but before that, no.
I understand. So, did have you by any chance gotten a chance to go and watch all the Halloween sequels that followed Halloween one?
I have. I have not seen the Rob Zombie ones because I don't like gore, but, I have seen all of the ones at least once.
Yeah, I actually, I'm not gonna lie. When Rob Zombie's Halloween came out, I was very young, and I was probably in eighth grade actually when it came out. And I remember me and my brother, we went to go see it with my aunt and my mother because they're all diehard horror fans, and I loved Halloween, so I thought, all right, I'll give it a try. Literally, the let's just say his first kill of the movie, which wasn't Judith actually. It wasn't Judith that the first kill of the movie. It was actually a bully of his at school,
Huh.
and I thought it was like really over the top and like really like I'm like, oh man, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Hell with this. I can't watch this. And then I went to go see Rush Hour 3 instead. Yeah, it was too much for me at that point.
Yeah, I don't need the gore. I just, if it's really well done, and I just, like John Carpenter, you don't need all of that. You just, it takes a whole lot of talent to scare you that much without blood.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I know that all of us would absolutely love it if he came back and directed another Halloween film. But obviously, I know he's very proud of the first one. He didn't really feel sequels were necessary. And, I really think that nobody can master a Halloween film the way he did.
Yeah,
And
I
even,
agree.
yeah, and even Halloween too. I mean, he didn't direct it, but he did write it and he produced it. And that was like the movie that I felt was obviously the closest. Obviously Deborah Hill producing it obviously was a big reason for that. And because Halloween 2 is actually my favorite next to the original. So
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
yeah, it was really a fun movie. I'm still waiting to meet all the nurses from Halloween 2. I'm very lucky that I got to meet the paramedics, but I've been requesting the nurses for the longest time, but I don't know if they've pretty much are like, I don't know, want to do shows no more or something. But hopefully,
Right.
hopefully, sometime down the road, I'll get to meet them. Yeah. Did you um have you met the cast of Halloween 2 at the Pasadena shows? Like, did you get to meet all those actors?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
Right. Yeah. You guys probably saw each other in the back probably while you guys were eating or something, but you didn't know which you probably would
Right.
have asked, what Halloween were you in? What Halloween were you in?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So one question I was really looking forward to asking you was, you may have only been in the first one, but you are acknowledged. Your character is mentioned in all of them. You are the only victim of Michael Myers that actually is mentioned in every single Halloween film that there has ever been. I actually did make a little montage of every scenes from all the sequels where you're mentioned in my Instagram stories. I don't know if you saw that, but
I didn't.
yeah, I really loved every time. It just felt like, you were the one Halloween actor that they just desperately had to find, that the fans wanted to meet so badly because, you know, there is like no scene in Halloween where um, you don't compare it to the way your scene was filmed. It's just so iconic and legendary, and I still believe to this day that your scene was the scariest in the movie.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, like, because we didn't know who the killer was. We didn't know, who. You said Michael's around someplace, but we didn't know it was Michael at first. And
Right.
we just saw this hand run for this the open the drawer and pull a knife out, and it's like, oh no.
This can't be good.
Yeah, absolutely. But have you met Danielle Harris,
I
who's
have. Uh-huh.
yeah, what's really great about her is that she actually did reenact your scene in Halloween 5. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, there is a scene where it's kind of silly because they actually didn't get the rebuild the house from the original Halloween or use it. They actually got a much bigger house, which I know there was a lot of controversy for that because it looks like a big haunted mansion, and that's not the way the house was. Like you said, it was a very small house, and like,
Right.
yes, and she's like up there, like it looks like she's in a tower or something, but she's brushing her hair in what we're led to believe was your room, and she's standing there, she's sitting there at the mirror, and she's just brushing her hair, and it was clearly an homage to your scene.
Ah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, there's a lot of great moments in the sequels where they always acknowledge your scenes, like when Jamie Lee. Did you see Halloween H2O?
Mhm.
Yeah, and when Jamie Lee admits to her boyfriend that, who she is, and, I really wish that they had, maybe she had a picture of you or something in the movie, but you know what? They probably wouldn't have been able to use that without your permission, would they?
Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it would have been really cool if they had homaged you deeper, because I really love that scene where she explains who she is, and, she confesses to being this broken girl who had this terrible tragic thing happen to her. I just thought that was a really powerful scene.
Right.
Yeah. So can you talk about being discovered again by your agent?
I was, just sitting on the couch doing Words with Friends with my best friend that I am still doing that every night. after all these years. And I just got this random message that popped up that asked if I was Sandy Johnson from the original Halloween. And I mean, I hadn't thought about the movie in years. And I just said, yes. And who is this? And Rick said, well, I am a agent for cons, and I have been looking for you for about 8 years. I'd really like to represent you. And I'm just thinking, what? Who is this guy? He said, so he just started talking to me about it. And I'm like going, I've never heard of a horror con, and why are you interrupting my game with my friend? And he said, no, I'm for real. I really am. And he gave me his Facebook page and stuff. And so I went in and checked it out, all that, and figured out he actually was a real agent, and that I actually did have fans, because I was saying, why would I have fans? And he's going, oh, you have a lot of fans around the world. So it was just kind of an eye opener for me. And I had never Googled my name. If I had, I would have learned a lot about myself, but I didn't until that night. And then all this stuff came up. So anyway, yeah, it was a very interesting night. And luckily I did go with Rick, and he's wonderful.
Yeah, and obviously him finding you also allowed you to participate in Halloween 2018. How was that experience?
Oh, it was great. He mentioned that me right away. Once I had signed with him, he said that uh, Blumhouse was interested in uh, having my signature for having my scene in the graveyard scene in 2018. So I spoke with them and signed off on that, and then they sent me to California to walk the red carpet. So it was it was crazy fun.
I know, it's amazing. You left Hollywood after all these years, and all of a sudden they call you and it's like, "Oh my God, there you are. You want to go to the red carpet? Go to the premiere of Halloween 2018." It's like all you had to do was go away for all those years, and then boom, you landed right there on the red carpet.
Yeah, it was pretty hard to believe for sure.
That's great. Did you bump into John or Jamie Lee at the premiere? Did you get to speak to them at all and remind them who you
I
were?
did. Yeah, they had an after party for the people that went to the premiere just across the street in a hotel, and it was very nice. It was a lot of fun, and I did get to visit with people that I hadn't met, as well as those that I had. So it's great.
That's great. And did you get to talk to Jamie Lee at all?
A little bit. Obviously, she was very busy, but I did get to say hi to her for a couple minutes, which was great.
Yeah. Did you mention that she was the one that scrubbed the blood off you for your scene, or did that not come up?
No, I didn't mention it. I didn't even know she'd remember. It was a long time ago. It was probably no big deal to her. I remembered it because it was a lot less painful when she was doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of interviews with her, and she seems like it seems like she has a very good memory. She seems to remember Halloween a lot, and it's was really fun to watch her Q&A when she actually made an appearance at. Did you ever go to a convention called Horror Hound?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, I know she made an appearance there. I don't know, I don't remember what year it was, but I think it was probably 2014 around that time. And her Q&A was so fun to watch because like she like remembers like everything, like what it was like to get the job, and she says that Halloween was probably the experience that she treasures the most within her career. And yeah, it was
Cool.
really, oh yeah, it was really fun watching her Q&As. But how about John? Did you get to talk to him at the premiere?
Um, Not very much, but I did get to talk to him quite a bit in oh God, Pennsylvania. Still, is it Still City? Still City
Yeah.
Con. Yeah, when I met him there a couple years ago, I was the only other one from Halloween that was there. So we did a panel together, just the two of us, which was really fun. And I visited with him before we went out for the panel and stuff. So it was great to visit with him.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. And I know that one of your cons a couple months ago, you did actually get to do a show with Nick Castle and Tommy Lee Wallace. How was it like seeing them again?
It was great. They were funny. They were really funny together. We had a good time. I had one on each side of me, and of course, they bantered back and forth because 'cause they're good friends, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's nice. That's really great. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, they do another reunion with all you guys soon. I wish that they had done that with when we were at the 45-year mark for Monster Mania or something, because they seem to do a lot of business with you guys at the Monster Mania shows. Uh,
Right?
and that I still remember the Monster Mania where I met you. You were the first person I met that day. I was like, I gotta go find Sandy. Yes, you were the very first one.
Cool. I remember that day.
Yeah, that was in Cherry Hill, and then the second
Uh-huh.
time I met you, uh, for my surprise, you actually recognized me from Facebook, and you came
Yes,
up,
I
and
did.
I was like so blown away, like, oh my god, I can't believe she remembers me. So that is a memory that I will cherish forever. Thank you for
Well, good. You're welcome.
that. um, okay, so I think I'll take this time to go ahead and look and see if we have any questions in the comments. A lot of people. Let's see. We have your local EFC man just simply said, "What?" The word "what." Okay. Um, if you have a question that goes along with that "what," please let me know. Um, and we have Squid. I think they're asking, "How are you?" Greetings from Boston.
Hello, Boston.
And oh, another friend of mine, Andre. He says, "Hi, Sandy. Keep doing what you're doing."
All right, I will.
Oh, someone loves the background. I know. I love it too. That's great. Oh, and we have Princess Peyton, who is a mutual friend of me and Amy's. She says hi to you, and she's like, "Oh my God, Sandy, did you know I live in Texas too?" I don't know if you guys have met, so I don't know if she would.
No, but I'm glad to hear it.
Did you? Are you still tech? Are you still based in Texas?
I am.
Oh, good,
Yep.
good. So she asked, "So why did Michael kill his sister? I was always told that it's because she had sex. Is that why?"
Well, that's what we assume.
Yeah, in Scream, Jamie Kennedy's character did say the rules to survive a horror movie is no sex, no drinking, no drugs, and third
Right.
one, never say "I'll be right back" because you won't be
Right.
back.
Exactly. So
Did you?
true.
Yeah, did you ever get to attend a show with the Screamcast?
No,
No, not yet, because that
not yet.
Scream is highly inspired by Halloween.
Yes, I like Scream. I would love to meet the cast.
Yeah, they had a great scene in the movie, like you probably remember it, where they actually were watching Halloween. All the teenagers were all drunk out of their
Right.
minds, and just it was funny. I always loved that moment in the movie. And we have Ryder McDonald saying, "Wow, you played Judith." And he asked, "Can I ask her if she had chemistry with John Carpenter and all the cast?"
Yes, I think so. I thought they were amazing and we worked very well together.
That's great. That's great. Okay, and we
And now
have
I'm friends. Even though I didn't work with PJ and some of the others, Will, I am definitely good friends with them now.
oh, that's nice. That's really great. Yeah, PJ's amazing. I met PJ multiple times, and she remembered me, and she even remembered my brother. And my brother only met her once, and I had the privilege of meeting her 3 times, seeing her 3 times at shows, and she's always so sweet. You can't
She
get.
is.
Yeah, she's
She's
amazing.
an absolute sweetheart.
Yeah, yeah. Did let's see. Oh, Peyton also agrees that she misses the '90s too. I miss Blockbuster and everything. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I skipped Bozo the Clown. Hmm.
Oh, I used to love Bozo.
Hey, he's a fan of yours too, obviously. Hello. Time flies, greater times then. He knows. He obviously knows. Okay. And Peyton also shares Rob Zombies was a little extra. I was 15 when that movie came out. Yeah, I will agree. It was a little it was a lot. It was too much. Especially when they had made the director's cut. Like, yeah, he's pretty brutal in his movies. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't need that.
no, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. I agree with that. Um, so how about the last three Halloween movies that came out? How would you, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give Halloween 2018?
2018, I actually liked a lot. I would probably give it an 8.
An 8? Is there something that they could have done to have made it? Um, what was some of your issues with it?
It was a little gory in parts,
Mm,
that I didn't think we needed. The one where they get like, crushed the guy's face and all that, it was gross. Um, so that was probably it. I didn't think they needed quite the level of gore in a few places, but there were a lot of things I did like about it.
yeah, I felt like it was carefully done. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really a big fan of. It took a while for me to think about this because obviously I was just so excited to see Michael back on the big screen, obviously. But a friend of mine actually pointed this out to me, and he is right. It's because Michael's not stalking; he's instantly killing everybody. And
Right.
yeah, and I'm like, wow, you're actually right. He's actually right. Like Mike, he's like there's no pacing, like there's no like
Mhm.
no, nothing really that memorable. He's just they find him, stab, it's over.
Yeah, that's why I don't like the last 2.
Yeah,
'Cause it's like, it's not Michael, it just doesn't feel like Michael because that was the whole deal. You never knew when or who he was just gonna let walk by or which one he was gonna kill or, you never knew. That's what made Michael so scary is that he
yeah,
was totally unpredictable. In the last 2, he just kills everybody.
yeah. I guess probably maybe it had something to do with it's just a guess of mine. Since they ignored all the original sequels, they're probably trying to get Michael's killing record up again really fast as quickly as possible.
I guess, number of kills, but yeah, it just didn't feel like Michael to me.
No, I agree with you. I do agree with that. Yeah, yeah. And did what Halloween Kills, a scale of 1 to 10? What would you give that one? I know
Hmm.
that you didn't really enjoy it as
Okay,
much.
is that the I like the beginning of the one that has the fireman. That's kills, right?
Yeah, that was Kills. Yes.
Yeah. That scene I love. I love the opening scene with the fireman and James Jude Courtney and all that. I thought that was amazing. Um, that's kinda where it stopped.
Yeah. Did you like the flashback scene where we see like they show like how Michael was arrested in 1978?
Yeah, yeah, some of that was cool. Yeah, I did like some of that. But overall, it just as far as just the Michael part, the actuals, yeah. I mean, there were definitely good parts in it, but it just, I didn't think it was anywhere near as good as the others.
No, I agree with you. I agree. Yeah, because for one, I was like, Michael in the original film, you know, uh, they had that he killed like 5 people in the original movie. So the fact that 40 years from now, everyone all gets together, people get together on Halloween in a bar, and they're like remembering that night, and it's like I'm like really all that because this guy killed 5 people. I'm I'm like is it really that big a deal at that point? But
Right,
yeah, yeah, and that whole evil dies tonight thing, it got the whole town crazy and like everything. I thought it was just like it was overdone, too silly, too goofy. I thought
right.
that's what I just thought. And of course, I didn't like that scene where the guy that they thought was Michael, him jumping off the building.
Yeah, killed him. Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Yeah, that wasn't. I didn't enjoy that part, but I do like I love the flashback. That's my favorite part in the movie. And I did like the ending. I did like the ending how Judy Greer as Kara Strode, she actually had the courage to rip Michael's mask off to save her daughter, to obviously Michael won't do anything without his mask. So the mask
Right.
is one to him. So, and she has that really great scene where she actually mentions you. She says that she's an innocent woman just like his sister was. And, then, she asks him, "Can you feel it?" And he just immediately just says, just clicks, goes right for her. And I just thought that scene where they all went after him actually was a very good scene.
Yep. You're
Yeah, I
right.
thought.
That one was good.
Yeah, but the rest of the movie I thought was too much blood. I thought like it was up to the point where it didn't look very realistic. I thought. But how about Halloween Ends? Did you ever get a chance to see that one?
I did see it. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was an interesting concept to grind him up. It
Yeah,
probably took care of him. I don't know. It isn't. There aren't really any scenes in it that stick with me as something that there. All the others, there are definitely scenes that made an impression, and that one not so much.
yeah. I'm gonna say there are a lot of scenes in that movie that stuck with me, but not in a good way. I'm like,
Oh,
unlike that scene where Corey goes into the tunnel and tries to get Michael's mask, and then they end up having like a brother shove fight. I'm like, what is that? What did they do? What is that?
yeah.
It
It
looks like
was
a
just
blue.
weird stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, how come Michael's not killing him? I don't understand. Like,
Right.
yeah, and but I did like the you know, I did find it a little interesting how Laurie Strode, after what happened in the original Halloween, 40 years later, she's in a house in the middle of nowhere with so much security around her. And then all of a sudden, Michael, surprisingly, he comes back after 40 years, goes after her. And then, at the end of Halloween Kills, she kills Kara, and then it looks like she's on her way to go find him. And then Halloween Ends comes out. We skipped like probably like, I don't know if it was a year or two later, probably a few years after that. She's now living in a house in Haddonfield, decorating for Halloween again. I'm like, I don't understand that. Like, how could she like go from this being uptight person who's like so worried about staying safe that now she's like, he wasn't found, he wasn't killed, like nobody knows what happened to him, so he's still out there. So
Right.
that's the only part of the movie that I thought was that I really didn't understand very well.
Right. Disconnected.
Yeah, yeah, but I think it was, I can understand what he was trying to do with the idea that he was probably trying to show with through Corey's experiences of being corrupted by the evil that Michael is corrupted by. I guess it was an ideal way of showing maybe Michael's backstory a little bit and maybe what he was going through around the time when, because we never got to see any backstory to Michael in the original film.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob Zombie gave him one, and he just had like like a abusive stepfather and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't think that's pure evil, but I mean that is evil, but I don't think it's like something that can get you to survive 6 gunshots. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. But so um, after after Halloween Ends had come out, they had recently announced that they're thinking about doing a TV series for Halloween. There hasn't been much details released on it, but if they called you up to do a cameo, would you be interested?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be so much.
Call
That
me
would be
up.
yeah, yeah, that would be fun because I know PJ came back to do the voice of the teacher in 2018, and I thought that was really cool. And I'm like,
Right.
yeah, and I would just absolutely love to see you guys pop up in a Halloween movie again. It doesn't have to be the same character. I just think it's really cool. Like even if you were a voice on the radio or something like Mickey Myers.
Right.
Yeah, I
That'd be
really
fun.
yeah I really enjoyed that film by the way. What's Paradolia? Is that how you say it?
Pareidolia. Yes, Pareidolia. That's a great film. I had a lot of fun doing it, and then I went to the premiere in London, for that one, and, we had a blast. We went pub hopping. It was really fun.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Um, let's see what else do I have here. Um, Obviously, in Gas Pump Girls, you did get to work with a Friday Girl, which was Kirsten Baker. How how was she to work with? Had she done Friday the 13th at that point, or that would have been Gas Pump
No.
Girls was that was the 70s, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was, she hadn't done it yet. Yeah, she was a doll. She's a sweetheart, and we had a lot of fun. Everybody on set was a lot of fun. It was, we had music playing the whole time, dancing around, just having a we had a great time filming that.
That's great. Now, are you guys obligated to be rivals now because you're speaking for Halloween, she's speaking for Friday the 13th?
No, I don't think so.
Has she ever done a show that you had attended? Have you ever bumped into her at a show yet?
No, I have talked to her agent, and, she's mentioned a couple times that we should, work it out to be at the same show, so I'm still hopeful it might happen. I'd love to see her again.
Yeah. Have you connected with any of your co-stars from Gas Pump Girls?
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm. I think one of them may not be alive anymore. I forget which one, but
Oh, really?
yeah, no. With not living in California, you don't just bump into people.
Yeah, and obviously back then you had no social media. It's a lot easier to stay in contact now than it was back then, I'm sure.
Yes, it is.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So we talked about Halloween. What other horror franchise would you like to participate in if given the opportunity? What horror icon
Hmm.
would you like to be chased by?
Um, Scream would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ghostface.
I like the storylines in Scream. It's a spooker for sure.
Yeah, oh my god, I would love that. You know, they're making Scream 7 right now, and they got the original writer back, Kevin Williamson, directing it. And I think he's a just an amazing writer. I love what he does. I loved so many of his movies. Have you seen any of his films besides? Well, he obviously co-wrote H2O. I know that he did write H2O, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Have you seen that movie?
I have. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, that was a really good one. And you're a teacher. How about Teaching Mrs. Tingle? Did you ever see that movie?
No, I don't think so.
That's a really good movie. It's got Helen Mirren in it, and she's a pretty mean teacher. And
Oh.
did you watch Dawson's Creek at all?
Oh gosh, that was a long time ago, right?
That was the '90s.
Dawson's
Yeah.
Creek. Yeah, I think maybe a couple times.
Yeah, well, they had, Katie Holmes was in the movie. She was the star of Teaching Mrs. Tingle, and it's fun. She's so concerned about flunking her grade because she just finds a problem with every assignment that she writes, and she works so hard. And it literally got to the point where she went to her house, and she had two friends there with her that it got a little bit too crazy, and they actually ended up tying her to the bed. And it's actually a really funny movie. I really recommend that if you ever get time to watch a movie, Teaching Mrs. Tingle. That's a Helen Mirren plays Mrs. Tingle, and she's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. Um, so is the did you get to was Scream the did you only see the first Scream? Was that the only one that you had
Uh,
seen?
no, I've seen a few different ones, not in any order. Just something that would pop up and we'd watch it.
Uh, Yeah, you know what's interesting about that is they actually did the same thing that Halloween 2018 did just by calling the 2018 film Halloween. They did the same thing with Scream 5. They just called it Scream. And it's really hard to explain to your friends, like, no, 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 you got to watch this one first, not that one.
Right.
You can't call it Scream 5 because nobody, you can't find it. It's not that title. Luckily, they
That's
brought it
funny.
back. Yeah, luckily they brought it back for the sixth movie though. Um, yeah, but did Uh, let's see. Oh, this is actually a good one. I wanted to ask you. Growing up, who was your childhood crush? Like, who's your celebrity crush when you were younger?
Elvis.
Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that Priscilla's on the con circuit. I know that she's been doing a lot of shows lately. Yeah,
Yep,
have you
I liked Elvis.
yeah, what's your favorite Elvis song? Do you have a favorite?
Ooh, probably Love Me Tender.
Love Me Tender? For me, it will always be Burnin' Love. I love that song.
Yeah. Oh, he's
I
got so many great songs.
uh, did you see the recent movie that came out with Tom Hanks and Austin Butler?
I did, it was good.
Oh, yeah, that was a really great movie. Really sad too. You didn't you never really knew what he was going through at that
Mm-mm.
time, you know? Yeah,
No, very sad, but very, very well done.
yeah, it was a fantastic movie, and I'm actually they're gonna be making a they made a movie also about Judy Garland. Were you a Judy Garland fan?
Yes.
Yeah, did you see her movie?
Mm-mm. What's it called?
It's just called Judy.
Oh, okay. I'll have to
Ye
watch it. Yeah, she was another great one with a sad story.
Oh my god, yeah, it's a shame, man. All these big celebrities back then, they had such sad stories, and unfortunately, a lot of them passed away so young.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, but you know what? I mean, they're gone, but never forgotten. They could never be forgotten.
true.
Yeah. Um, is there any films of John Carpenter's other than Halloween you would have liked to audition for?
Hmm. I really liked The Fog.
The Fog.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I think a few actors actually from Halloween came back for that one. If I'm
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it's if you had stayed if you actually did stay in contact with John at that point, like maybe he would have asked you to come back.
Yeah, you never know.
The Fog too. I'd be down. I love The Fog. I thought that was a fantastic movie. Yeah,
Yes, I liked it a lot.
yeah, I could watch that movie a lot easier than I could watch The Thing. I thought The Thing was like, whoa, that was scary. Yeah, that did you ever sit down and try to watch his The Thing?
I never could find it. When I was looking for it, it wouldn't pop up on anything, so I'm still hoping to see it. Maybe when I search the next time, it'll pop up.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but yeah, it's like whoa, I did not see that coming. Like that was it was a mind blowing film. It was very good. I'm surprised that it's funny because I actually had seen a couple Q&As that came out. Didn't do well when it came out originally, and his movie was a remake. You know, did you ever see the original thing?
No.
Yeah, and I think they actually showed it in Halloween, didn't they? I think there was actually a moment where Laurie was
Yeah, I
watching.
think there was yes, there were the kids were watching it, I think.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and try to check that out because I just recently tried to watch so many of the classic films like Frankenstein, Dracula. I just wanted to know, like, how do these characters like influence all these filmmakers to create these amazing horror icons? Jason, obviously, I mean, he was a ripoff of Michael. I mean, that's just a little too easy to think about, but at the same time, you love him. He's a really fun character. The whole camp thing. Would you want to do a Friday the 13th film?
Sure.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I love when they show cameos of like all these horror icons that from these other franchises, and they come back. Like fans love that stuff. I wish they would do that more.
Yeah, I would enjoy that.
Uh, what were some of your favorite TV shows growing up?
Hmm. Well, Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows,
Um, when I was little, Felix. Felix the
Felix.
cat.
Oh, Felix the cat. Oh, I never heard
Felix
of
the
that one.
cat. Yeah, as a kid. Um, what else did I like growing up? No, I've never I like Friends. I did like Friends,
Hmm.
but, I was never a big TV watcher. I like to go outside and play. I was an outside, "Let's go do something" kind of person.
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately, that generation unfortunately is ended a long time ago because they came up with all these game systems and Snapchat and screen. I feel like everyone's looking at screens more than they are looking at outside.
Yeah,
For
it's
example,
true,
for
it's true.
example, look at me.
Right.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I actually do feel like a lot of people are, like they mentioned like how they miss like blockbusters and all these movies they used to go to. Now everything's on your TV and it's just so easy and you never have a reason to go out anymore.
right.
And I'm like watching it in the beginning I thought, "Wow, this is so cool. I don't have to get up." And then I gained like 20 pounds and I'm like, "Wow, this sucks."
Maybe I should get up.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. Peyton, what did you write? She would give Halloween 2018 a 10 all the way. She really enjoyed it. Halloween Kills, she loved Halloween Kills. Yeah, I mean Halloween Kills, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but I just thought like it was a little overdone a little bit. Yeah, and she says, "Yeah, Michael killed 5 people and hasn't showered ever since." Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Um, that's really clever. Um, let's see. Whew. So I obviously talked to you about reuniting with David Kyle at the 40 years of convention. How was it reuniting with Will Sandon?
Oh, it was great. I love Will. He's an absolute sweetheart. He's at a lot of the shows that I do for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
And yeah, we have a good time visiting. He's great.
yeah. I was, it's funny. I look at him. I'm like, wow, he must be a cop. He actually looks like he's a cop.
Yeah, he is a chips officer.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Oh, that's. I guessed it. Wow, that's amazing.
You
I don't know.
did.
I don't know why. I just saw him and I just felt like he had like a police officer vibe.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I really loved watching the panel of all you guys at the 45 years of terror. I'm very lucky that we get those on YouTube. And he talks about like what was his direction for the creepy stare that he does at the end of the movie. And he just said, "Oh, I was just told to look scary into the camera." And I said, "Oh, okay." And you know, John's obviously very good at directing because he knows exactly how to relate to people. He seems like he's very simple, John, and I actually admire that about him.
Yep,
He seems like he's very good at trusting his actors and getting them to just delivering like what he wants them to do simply, and then allowing them to go ahead and work with it.
right.
Yeah, so I always admired that about him. Yeah. Are there any films of yours that you have not seen?
Mm, nope.
Nope, saw all of them.
Well,
That's
no,
good.
I shouldn't say that. I have not seen Vulps. I mean, I've made some that haven't been released yet, so I haven't seen those.
Right.
All the
Oh,
recent
right. The, the
ones.
the the recent ones that are coming out,
Right.
obviously. Yeah. Well, they haven't been
Yeah.
released yet, obviously.
Yeah.
So I can understand that. I can understand that. Yeah. So, what has been your your favorite con that you had visited this year? Like, what was like the what would you say was the one that last year, obviously 2024. Um, what would you say like was the big highlight?
Ooh. Um, the GalaxyCon ones, I believe, is it Seattle? Was the GalaxyCon or
GalaxyCon, I think it's
Oklahoma City?
Virginia, I believe, Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, I've there were 2 of them that were GalaxyCon, 2 or 3, and I actually the ones
Uh,
I'm doing this year are GalaxyCon too. They take amazing care of us.
oh, that's
So,
good.
I mean, they just spoil us rotten, and they're so nice. I mean, they had wonderful meals for us. They bring their own cooler, big cooler that is filled with every kind of drink you can imagine. So all different kinds of teas and, just they just spoil you and make sure if there's somewhere you need to go, like, if you need to get back to the hotel quickly or whatever, I mean, they are right there. So as far as them taking care of us, GalaxyCon was just amazing. Great conventions. Um, I enjoyed the Sacramento one, the Sinister Con. It was very small, but the people that were there, the vendors and the people who did it, I mean, they were so nice. and it was just really well done. The whole um, area where you go in to get something to eat or whatever, they had taken so much time to decorate that whole area. Fabulous decorations. So I don't know, I just thought they went out of their way to make it all look so cool, and the vendors that were there were great. So that was really fun. So yeah, those were some of my favorites.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that. I like that. And let's see. I kind of got a little bit off the timeline a little bit, but obviously, back in the day, you did get to appear on the Sonny and Cher show. That and
Yes.
that's great. I mean, I've always loved Cher as an actress. I thought she was great in Mask. Have you ever seen the movie Mask?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
oh, that was a fantastic movie. That was such a fantastic movie. I highly recommend it.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, uh, how was your experience working with them?
Oh, it was fun. They were very nice, and it was obviously exciting to be on a movie, a movie film set, a big one, and to be with big stars and everything. They were very nice to us. It was a lot of fun. It was fun doing a skit. So yeah, um, I wasn't wild about the swimsuit they picked for me. Everybody else's swimsuit was so cute, and mine was like yellow polka dot bikinis, and the polka dots kept falling off.
Oh,
So, my wardrobe was not the greatest, but I did have a lot of fun.
well, you did look very good in it, I will say.
Well, thank you.
And how was it working with Joe Namath?
Oh, it was great. He was very nice. I actually used to work at a club, and he would come in there a lot, so I actually knew him.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Oh, that's really cool. Did he ever visit the Playboy Mansion during the time when have you ever worked at the Playboy Mansion, or did you go there like just as a guest, or I don't know how it.
I went a lot as a guest, and yeah, he would go.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Is it a secret? Like, can you tell like who you've seen there, who you've met there, or
Oh gosh, I mean, that's so long ago, I wouldn't remember any of their names. I mean, almost tons of playmates were always there, and of course, all of Hef's friends, a lot of his friends would be there that also came to the club that I worked at. So, yeah, I knew a lot of people there, but it's been 50 years.
I would imagine so. Yeah, I can understand. Did I know that you have said before that Joe Namath actually did ask you out a few times?
He did,
Yeah, wasn't your
but
type?
I said no.
Yeah, I
I had a
actually.
boyfriend, so I said no.
Oh, okay. So that was just simply that reason.
Yes.
Oh, that's that. Uh, Obviously, I understand that. But that so any other and who else had asked you out at that point? Any celebrities? Did did obviously being the playmate, you were playmate of Playboy of June of 1974. Um, did um, did anybody ever ask you out that you was really well known at the time?
Oh gosh. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm sure there was
It
quite a
was
bit
Beverly
probably.
Hills and Hollywood. I mean, people there, I interacted with so many famous people, I don't even remember.
Yeah, I understand. There was probably it was a big experience. I'm sure you probably met a lot of great people at that time.
I did.
Yeah, that's great. That's nice. So we've obviously talked about your time in the Halloween movies. We've talked about jokes my folks never told me. I got to be honest. Like I said, I thought that film was really funny, sexy too. Um, I'll have to get you to write your quotes sometime on one of my autographs sometime. I thought that was funny. Um, what was Can you tell us more stories about Deborah Hill? Like, was your how long did you actually know her? Did you keep in contact with her at all after the shoot was over, or was
No, I just met her that day and worked with her, and I liked her a lot, but that was really the last time.
oh, okay, okay, yeah. Oh man, you hear nothing but great things about her, and I really wish that she had, like I said before, I really wish she had gotten to experience the con world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
she would have been so beloved. Um, all right, well, how about I know you had a role in a movie called Doll of Deceit. Is that the way it was? Uh, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that filmed in Florida, several months ago, and I am a mother-in-law that has a, very bad son-in-law, and, he doesn't like me. So, yeah, it's an interesting script. So it was fun to shoot. I had a good time shooting it. The people were great. The actors were really good. So yeah, it was fun. It was
That's
one
cool.
day.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing that. I know you had told me a movie that you were actually in where you were sort of playing like a Mrs. Voorhees type, like as in like Friday the 13th. Like, well, was your son a killer or something? I believe.
That was they never filmed that one. They filmed some of it. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It has to do with a hatchet in dang. Anyway, it was about a hatchet. And
Okay.
it was a inscribed hatchet that, my son, who had basically been put out in the woods and set free because he was a murderer, and rather than them kill him, I set him free and let him go live in the woods. And then years later, he comes back, and as he grows up, he starts killing people with this hatchet. And it was a great role. I still hope that maybe they'll come back and do it.
Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna lie. When you told me about all the film roles telling me about, I was actually very excited for that one. So I hope that they do continue that. How are they still like in the process of writing the script, or was production probably shut down during the pandemic, maybe, and it never was resumed?
Um, they had the script, and they did shoot for a while, and then I'm not sure what happened. I should probably reach out to him at some point. Um, but I did the Executioner, that was also in Florida. In that one, I am a psychiatrist,
Hmm.
and, it's a really good role. I like that one. It's gonna be a really good movie.
Oh, that's great. I'm looking forward to that one. I'll definitely have to look into all these films when
Yeah,
they come out.
they're actually just finishing up the filming this month and next month, I think, so hopefully it won't be too much longer.
Yeah, do you have release dates for any of the recent films that you've worked on, or are they still in the process of being edited?
Yeah, they're still in editing. God. Um, yeah, I just did another one called The Farmhouse Murders, and I'm a mother in that one. It's just a cameo, but it's a good part. I enjoyed doing it, and it was done remotely.
Oh,
And, let's see, what else? I think I've got some others coming up, Halloween Shark, and, some others I can't really talk about, but I got some more coming.
oh, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that. Really excited about it, and I really hope that you come to a con near me soon. It's been so long, and I really hope that whether it's New Jersey Horror Con, Collector Fest, Monster Mania, if they show that you're nearby, definitely expect a visit from me because obviously I didn't see you since we were at that car show in Maryland. I believe that was the last time.
Yeah, that's been a while. So yeah, it's time. I need to go back to the East Coast. So I haven't got my full list of cons for the year, so hopefully there's still one coming.
Yeah, did you go to Steel City actually in 2024 at all? Did you get to go back there, or was that
Mm-mm.
just
No,
John?
it's been a couple years since I've been there.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, hopefully I still got to get out there. I've never been to a Steel City con, but they look like they're so much fun.
It was a really great con. It was. They also took very good care of us.
That's good. That's good. Well, Sandy, I can't tell you how much I really appreciate you giving your time to talk to me and do this. I wanted to interview you for the longest time, and you're my first ever interview on here. I had never done it before, so
All right.
yeah,
Cool.
I probably jumped the timeline quite a bit, like went from 1978 to 2018, but so much. But it's okay. I'm sure people will be able to find it as they watch. But I
Cool.
can't. I just want to tell you that from the bottom of my heart, I do love you, and I can't wait to see you next time you're around.
Thank you. Well, I love you too, and thank you for inviting me to visit.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Well, you have a nice night, and I will talk to you soon, hopefully.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Good night.
Good night.